You know, we spoke this morning. We discussed in detail how I wanted to be introduced. And the biggest problem is how someone introduces me. I also have the same problem. How do I start off? I get real nervous, and you would think, after 50 states, after 8 foreign countries, and 2 million young adults your age, I would have that opening sentence. Why would I get nervous? Why do I struggle with that introduction? You see, I have this great big press release. Has everything in there that I've done for the past 10 years. All these wonderful things, but it leaves one thing out. With a group like this, I'm going to give you a break this morning. I'm going to give you the end of the program. I won't make you wait. Why does she have a problem introducing me? Because I'm dying. Let's just cut to chase. Because the light's going to end a whole lot shorter than what it was planned to be. You see, I had this stupid dream growing up in a school district just like this in upstate New York. I was going to be the pro football player. Let me submit this to you for your consideration. I stood with the Kansas City Chiefs. I was with the Dallas Cowboys for a short period of time. The little boy's dream, that stupid dream came true. So why must I kick it up? What was the choice I made? What will cut my life short? You know that invincibility, that immortality? In 8th grade, I picked up a drink. Everybody wants to know why. From Russia to China. From last week in Jersey, the week before in Illinois. Everybody wants to know why. Why did I pick it up? Why have some of you? Maybe I picked it up because we won the football game. And I scored the winning touchdown. Or did I pick up that drink because we lost the game and I didn't score the touchdown? Or did I pick up that drink for the best kept secret in my family? If I can give you anything this morning, allow me to give you the knowledge and the insight and the vision into my world of why I picked it up. See, I grew up in the big house on the big street. Daddy was the head of the Board of Education. Mom was on the PTA. And so therefore there were secrets in my family. Maybe I picked up that first drink because I inherited the gene of addiction. Because my great-great-grandpa was a vicious alcoholic. When he got drunk, he beat up his son. But no one ever told me about that. Secrets. Nobody told me about my great-grandpa who was an alcoholic and beat up his son indefinitely. No one ever told me about my grandpa who was an alcoholic, and when he came home one night drunk, my mother was only 16 years of age, he sexually molested her. Maybe I picked up that first drink because I inherited the gene of addiction. 4 times greater risk. Becoming an alcoholic or drug addict. Check it out. I get drunk at 14. Mom catches me. She grabs me by the shirt, bam, across the face. What are you doing to the family? The precious family. She ever once say why? She never said why. All she said was, you're a football player. Don't do it again. Like that would insulate me. Hey, I just continued to drink up a Storm High School. I thought that's how you fit in. Boy, we all want to fit. Boy, I drank up a Storm with all these other guys, athletes, age 16, captain of the varsity football team. Mr. Big Shot in my high school. When I'm drunk when I leave the party, driving that car, when I rounded the corner, an old man stepping out of his car. Bam! I hit the car and knocked the old man back into the car. Do I stop? Who, me? Mr. Big Shot? I keep on going, hit another car. Cops catch me, police station. One stupid phone call. Who do I call? Dad. Check it out. Dad shows up at the police station. This is sick. Dad comes down to the police station. What's he do? Calls my high school coach. Coach Brian shows up. Check out the conversation at the police station. My dad and my coach trying to convince the police, you can't arrest him. Dan Davis, captain of the varsity football team. He's going to make it big in college football. He didn't hurt that old man. I didn't hurt him. Is that it? Is that what you got to do? Hey, they let me go. You know this, young adults your age, you know this better than the adults in this room. When you let a 16-year-old kid off, you're telling me I can do whatever I want. I return to high school. Mr. Big Shot for sure now. Little boy's dream takes one step into that big world. I'm going to get that tryout. I'm going to get that tryout with Division I football. Hey, I got all those scholarships coming in from around the country. I thought I was the Big Shot, people. Let me give you this now. Jumping out of that airplane in Syracuse, headed to Missouri to play football. I thought it would be the Big Shot out of Missouri. Rules change, people. Every time you move up a grade and when you go from a senior to that first year in college, rules change. Because when I stepped off that airplane in Kansas City, you find out very quickly, everybody was all-American, all-conference, all-league. Now I had to fit again. You won't know the names. The adults will. I played in the backfield with a great running back by the name of Bobby Joe Williams. Bobby ended up with Kansas City and the 49ers for a while. Bobby and I were roommates, good friends, running backs together. But check it out. I could outdrink everybody, and I was so proud of that I could outdrink everybody. It's my sophomore year of college. You got to remember, my second year. I come home to celebrate another great year of college football. Drunk again on a Saturday night when I leave the party. When we head to the bar, when we leave the bar at 8:30 at night. Not any different than any other Friday or Saturday night in my young adult life. When I leave the bar, this time, I'm driving. David's in the front seat from Navy. Joey's in the back seat from Siena, all football players. When we leave the bar, I'm driving up just a little bit too drunk when I rounded that corner. The light changed red just a little bit too quickly. Coming the other way is the blue station wagon. In the front seat is Dr. H and his wife. In the back seat are the two little twin babies. As I rounded the corner, Joey yelled to me, "Go, Danny, you can make it." As I passed underneath the light, bam, I hit the car. Both babies go smeared up against the back door. Do I stop? Who, me? Mr. Big Shot? I keep on going down the street, hit another parked car. I jump from the car running. The father tackles me, slams up against the side of the car. Police station, one stupid phone call. Who do I call? Dad. Sick? Check it out. Dad shows up. He calls my high school coach. Dad and my coach at the police station trying to convince the police, trying to convince the father of those two babies, you can't arrest him. This is Dan Davis. He's going to be the first kid out of our town, out of our school, to make it to the pros. He didn't kill those babies. I didn't kill them. Is that it? Is that it? As an athlete, you got to kill somebody before you get arrested. One kid had a broken arm, the other one had a fractured leg. The mother was all cut up. My dad agreed to pay for all the medical bills, now and all future medical bills, just so to arrest my son. Sick. They let me go. I could give myself a police officer in here. I'll give him my license. You go ahead and run my numbers. You know what you'll find in my criminal record? Nothing. I'm as clean as they come. That's what's so sick about this story. And you wait till you hear the end of it. Mr. Big Shot, I returned to college. I get that tryout with the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't care what school I'm in. El Salvador, Russia, China, the all-black high school in LA with the Crips and the Bloods in front of me. Or right here. We all have a dream, people. And whether you're cool enough to admit it or not, or you think it's uncool, my dream was to be that pro football player. And to step into Arrowhead Stadium as a tryout, as a walk-on, to see all these great athletes. Let me date myself for the adults in the room. You see Hank Stram, Lenny Dawson, Nate Allen, Otis Taylor. I got that football, and I'm running with that football. Bam, and I get hit. And this pro scout, Bobby Tucker, walks up to me and hands me this piece of paper. It's called the letter of intent. Yes, I'm going to make it. Little boy's dream's going to come true. I'm on my way to the pros. But you see, I got to make up my mind. Life is about choices. People face it. It's choices. And on that piece of paper, it said, number one, that the Kansas City Chiefs gave me. Number one, I drop out of college, trying to make the traveling team each and every game. Or number two, I stay in college and trying to get picked up in the draft the following year. Who's going to help me make the right choice? Who helps you people? For me? Check it out. My mom and dad, they'll help me make the right choice. My friends. I jump on the next airplane going out of Kansas City. Really? Bottom line, what a jerk I was. I get on the airplane, people sitting in front of me on each side of me. I got the letter from the Kansas City Chiefs. I dropped the tray table, I put the letter from the Chiefs, big logo on top. I want everybody to see who I was. Mr. Big Shot. Oh, I step off that airplane. Syracuse, New York, TV camera, newspaper reporters, everybody's there to greet me. And all my family members. And my good friend Jerry, a backup catcher for the Montreal Expos, pro baseball player. Why do they meet me at the airport? You see, in my family, I know it doesn't happen here in this school district. I bet you it's from my house. You know what? In my family, when good things happen, how do we deal with success? We drink. Gets a little confusing in my family, though, because when you don't make it, when there's loss, even death, how do we deal with loss? We drink. Drinking up a storm that night. Check it out. 1 o'clock in the morning, Jerry says to me, "Come on, Danny. Let's go down to the bars. Let's show them who you are." What a jerk I was. Every bar we walked into, I'm waving the piece of paper so they'll give me my free drinks. It's the third bar, people. The third bar you got to remember today. When I come stumbling out of the bar, a little bit too drunk at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I jumped up on the hood of the car, and I'm sitting there on the hood of the car, waving the piece of paper from the Kansas City Chiefs. Jerry slips behind the wheel. He's going to drive. Should have been with me 4 weeks ago today, people. Jerry, he's been out of pro baseball for 16 years. When I spoke in Jacksonville High School in Jacksonville, Illinois, 4 weeks ago, he lives in Springfield out there now. He spoke with me. If you will allow me, if my good friend Jerry was here today, that pro baseball player, this is what he would say, just like he did 4 years ago. And what's so amazing, you watch this grown man continues to cry his eyes out even after all these years, as he would say this: it was supposed to be a joke. Danny was too drunk. Danny jumped on the hood of the car. He would tell you how it was supposed to be a joke, but he decided he was going to drive. It was supposed to be a joke. When the car gets going 40 miles an hour, you can see me sitting on the hood of the car waving the piece of paper. It was supposed to be a joke. He would tell you when he hits the brakes, bam, my head hits the windshield. Blood all over the windshield. I go sliding up the hood of the car into the pavement. It was supposed to be a joke. When I slipped into that coma for the next 7 days with a cracked skull, and when I come out of the coma, Dr. David Depew looked at me and said, "You're done, Danny. You're done. You'll never play football again." Your principal said to me, "You ever get nervous anymore? 2 million students, you ever get nervous? You want the truth right now? I'm scared to death up here. You want to know why? Because I'm nothing but an old drunk, an old drug addict. I'm a wannabe. Someone who could have made it. I'll take you home with me when I get to go home tomorrow. I got a sign upstairs above this one room. There's a sign above a door. The sign says the wannabe room. You go in that room, you see all these pictures on the wall. Me in the picture staring at all these pro athletes. What I could have been if I never would have picked it up. What do I do now? Return to college. Barely graduate from college. Now this football player got a teaching degree? That's a whole other story. Return home to my hometown. Check out the headlines in the newspaper. Freak accident ruins pro career. Why didn't it say the truth? Why didn't it say I was drunk and it blew my career? How many young adults could I have helped? Check it out, plan B, I'll be a teacher, I'll be a football coach, I'll be a baseball coach. I'm teaching, I'm coaching, everything's going great, but I was one of those coaches, one of those teachers you could find me every day after school. You could find me every day after practice. I'd be down the local bar. I was like the only teacher felt like that wasn't married in the school district. So I'd sit there drinking up a storm, I'd get hammered even out of school night, trying to drive the car home, 11, 12 o'clock at night. I'd hear that police siren. Even remember the cop's name, Officer Wayne, would walk up to the car. He'd look at the car and go, "Coach! Coach Davis! Coach, great game last week, Coach! Hey, Coach, how are we going to do next week, Coach? Coach, you're all over the road, Coach. Let us take you home, Coach." Good old boys. And they would take me home again and again. Hey, I don't know if you get this down here. My parents, check it out. This is what my parents told me growing up. "Danny, if you hang with the winners, you'll never get in trouble." Exactly, Mom and Dad. What is a winner? When that outside linebacker from the Detroit Lions, who had blown out both knees, a real short pro football career, shows up to teach at our high school. His father was one of the winningest high school football coaches in the state of Indiana. Gary was a good friend of mine. He was a winner. Gary and I become best friends. We coached together. The only difference was he was married and had a little child. Everything's going great, but isn't it amazing how we listen to our good friends? Like they got the best advice for us. Gary comes to me one day. Gary says to me, "Danny, hey Danny, all those teachers, they're talking about you, man." I says, "What do you mean they're talking about me? This is sick." He says, "Danny, they say your hair's too long. They smell alcohol in your breath when you come to school. They see your car laying at the bars. Danny, you got to find a way to fit in. Fit in. We always got to fit, don't we? Gary, what do you think I should do? This is sick." He said, "You know what you should do? You should get married." "Get married? Danny, if you get married, you'll fit in." How sad. He planted a seed. I'm in the bar several weeks later. This woman's walking toward me. She's drunk, I'm drunk. We fall madly, passionately in love that night. Year later, White House, white picket fence, little puppy in the backyard. She's standing there pregnant. Now I'm gonna fit. And the night the little boy is born, Jason Michael Davis, I was supposed to be there to help deliver my little boy. I had taken Lamaze class, Mr. Coach. By the time they get me out of the bar at 10 o'clock at night up to the hospital, I passed out vomiting on the delivery room floor. What a dad! Hey, when I come to, I got cigars. It's a boy! What a jerk. Hey, being married to me, I know it doesn't happen in your community. If you were my wife, this is what it was like, our social life. I'd play softball 2 nights a week. That's men's night out. I could get drunk 2 nights a week. If you're really, really good as my wife, I'd take you to a softball tournament on the weekend so we could get drunk together. How sick, but this is what you all want to know. Question number 2, let's talk about it today, people. You get to hang out with me, you can sign up for Chalk Talk. Here's the question number 2, everybody wants to know this. On what number drink do you cross the line and become the alcoholic? On what joint, on what line of coke do you become the addict? Let's talk about it today. When Gary invites me back to his apartment, his big house, his big place on his big street. His wife's in the kitchen cooking dinner. His little boy's running through the living room. Gary and I sit down at the glass coffee table. He dumps the white powder out. He starts cutting up these little white lines. Gary looks at me, he says, Danny, try that. I looked at Gary, I says, Gary, what is that? He goes, it's cocaine. Not me, man. I'm a football player, I'm a teacher, I'm a coach, I'm a follower, I'm an athlete. No way, man, I'm not gonna do that. No, no, no. First line of Coker Speed you do? In the Bronx and Brooklyn, Harlem, when I speak a lot, it is called the sachet effect. First line you ever do, it leaves an imprint on your neurons. That's as high as you're ever gonna get. Sorry, people. Pharmacologically, psychologically, you can never, ever, ever replicate your first high. It's impossible. So you do more and more. That's addiction. Sick. I get up to go teach school every morning. I walk into my classroom. Gary, the teen teacher, would come in. I'd open up the desk drawer. My students would come in. I'd put a movie on. You're watching the movie. In that desk drawer would be that rectangular mirror. I dumped the Coker Speed. Meth quickly became a drug of choice. I'd bend down, snort the Coker Speed all day long in the classroom when you're watching the movie. Sick. Oh, I'm sorry, I told Barb, I'm a little tired this week. I've been on the road for a month and a half. I forgot to tell you about my stupid little boy. Isn't it amazing how these little kids want to be just like their daddies? I get up to go teach school every morning. You see my stupid blonde-haired, brown-eyed son at the end of the hallway. Daddy? Daddy, can I go into my room? Nobody goes into that room, but every morning he'd follow me into that room. Every morning I lay on the floor, Mr. Athlete. I'd hook my feet underneath the dresser, start to do my sit-ups. You see Jason lay down next to me trying to do sit-ups just like his daddy. Put my leg up in the chair in that room, do my arm curls, bam. Jason would have these little plastic dumbbells trying to be just like his daddy. But over top of his head are 4 lines of Coke. And I would bend down and start my 2 lines of Coke. I wet my finger, bring my finger down to the Coke, and bring the Coke up underneath my 3-year-old boy's nose and hold it there. And he would look up at me and go, and I'd pull it away and laugh. You want the truth? Don't you dare go there with me. Not anybody in this room, there's only one reason, one alone, why he didn't get it. There wasn't enough. You have no clue what it's like in this world. Daddy? Daddy, can I have some, Daddy? You see him wrinkle up his nose, he never got any. Knock at the front door, several months later, undercover agents, New York State Police, BCI, Joe Lightfoot, head of the BCI. They said I'd sold to an undercover agent. Had I? You bet I had as a coach and teacher. Tearing the house apart, looking for drugs, my little boy crying, hand out of my leg, scared to death. Can't find drugs anywhere. Joe Lightfoot looks at me. I know you got drugs. I haven't got none, Joe. When the New York State Trooper finds that weapon. Bam. And I get handcuffed, possession of a deadly weapon when they drag me out that front door. When I step out of the trooper's car that morning, 13 people busted in the drug raid in the county that morning. But they got the cameras on me when they dragged me inside. Here we go, people. One more stupid phone call. Who do you think I called? Dad. Dad, in the trunk of the car. $10,000 of the cocaine. Get it. Silence. My dad. He's clueless. I did drugs, let alone was a full-blown addict. Some people call me lucky. Stupid New York State law. The garage was attached to the house. The car's in the garage, the coke's in the trunk of the car. They needed a second search warrant. It would take them a couple hours to get it. Got my father on the phone. Get the drugs! If you don't get the drugs out, I'm going to jail for 25 years. Be your fault, Dad. Bam! I hooked my dad. He makes a mistake of his life. Beats my brother Timmy by 20 minutes, or beat the troopers by 20 minutes. Gets my brother Timmy. Flushes the drugs down the toilet. Get me off, Dad! Get a good lawyer. Dad gets a good lawyer. Got to mortgage his house, but he gets me off. Charges get dropped. All I got to do, check it out, is resign from teaching. So I resigned. My wife? You were pregnant when I married you anyways. We are cruel in a family like this. Don't make that mistake. Leave her behind. My son doesn't need me. She'll probably remarry. If I can give you any this morning, allow me to give you this. When you get in trouble with alcohol and other drugs, one of the first things we try to do is you try to move away. You think you can start over, the geographical cure. I moved to Dallas, Texas, leave my son behind. He doesn't need me. Why Dallas? 7 friends playing pro football for the Cowboys, semi-pro. Come on down, Danny. Hey, they landed me a job running the Dallas International Fitness Club for the adults in the room. Who worked out in that health club? Too Tall Jones, Randy White, Tony Dorsett, that defensive end for the Dallas Cowboys. His nickname was called Piker. Piker and I become good friends. Why? Because every time we got together, we'd bend over and start our Coker Speed. No war stories, people. Don't you ever let an adult come into your life and scare you about drugs. What you want is the truth. And what I'm about to tell you, the people who did the drugs I did, they don't want to tell you this. And the people who didn't do any drugs don't know anything about this. And everybody's drug career, this is the way it goes down. At some point, every time I bend over, start the Coker Speed, you watch the blood come gushing out of my nose. So what would they do? They put me in that Cadillac. There's other pro football players every other day. We go to the Irving Community Hospital, second floor, the emergency room. What they do is they cauterize, burn the inside of the nose, stop it from bleeding. Then they stuff it with cotton. I can walk it out of the hospital. I walk up to the Cadillac, open up the door where those other pro players are. Before I step in the car, I'd pull the cotton out of my nose so I could breathe the fresh Texas air. Nah. When I step into the car, Piker reaches over with his mirror. You see me bend down, start over, and you watch the blood come gushing out. It gets to a point, I can take the handkerchief up this side of my nostril, pull it through the inside, down the other side. There's nothing there to this day. Piker looks at me, says, Danny, take this needle, Danny. 8-ball. $250 for the coat. Not me, man. I'm a teacher, I'm a coach. The little boy who grew up in the big house, I wasn't going to drink. I wasn't going to smoke my pot. I wasn't going to do snort cocaine. No, 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 no. Bam. $3,000 a week. Piker says to me, Danny, I get to try out with the Cowboys. I can't play football again. I got this head injury. Danny, take these steroids and coke at the pro level. People, the term was called nixing. I start the mainline, coke and steroids. Played 6 more months down in Dallas. Could have died with a right hit to the head. Get so sick, jaundice, vomiting blood, enzymes triple in the liver. Catch a bus home to upstate New York. Where's the 25-year-old? I gotta go. Mom and Dad's house. Moving to Mom and Dad's house, and I would sit in the chair off of the kitchen, soaking wet in sweat. 2-3 days would go by, and I hear the back door open up, and that stupid little boy of mine would come walking up to my chair, holding that autographed football from the Cowboys. Daddy? Daddy, come on, Daddy, let's go play catch. Get out of here, Jason. You think you know what love is? You watch him crawl across the floor, petrified of me, but yet he would come back day in and day out. Come on, Daddy. Daddy, just play catch. Get out of here. Oh, I get better. 6 weeks go by. This is the way it works, people. You quit for a while, so you think you can start over. The body bounces back. I land a job, was seen in New York, upstate. I convinced this stupid judge to let me have visitation rights. Your coach over here, he wanted me to bring my son today. He knows something. He knows my son now speaks with me. I couldn't get my son here because I've been on the road for 2 weeks. But if you will allow me with such a great audience, if Jason was here right now, this is what he would say. Let me use my son's words. He would look at all of you and he would say, this is sick. My daddy loved me so much. Daddy told that judge. Daddy loved me so much. Daddy got visitation rights. Daddy loved me so much. Daddy would pick me up after school on Fridays. Daddy would stop at the grocery store and Daddy would get 2 6-packs of beer and Daddy would give me a half a sub and a Pepsi. What a dad. Daddy loved me so much he would continue to tell you he was here today. We'd stop at the green trailer on the way out of town. I was a good boy when we come out of the trailer. Daddy would let me carry that plastic bag with white powder in it. What a dad. Go back up to the apartment, play some stupid Monopoly board game. When it was his turn to play the game, I'd sneak off into the bathroom, smoke my pot, snort my coke. It didn't matter with a 6-year-old in the house. Come out and tuck him in bed, give his kiss goodnight. And when he was sound asleep, I'd sneak out of the house, go down to the nearest bar. The problem is this, people. When I came to the next day, I wasn't in that apartment. I wasn't even in that town. I'd panic, jump in the car, get home as fast as I could. I'd bust open the apartment door. See my stupid son sitting on the couch with a blanket up underneath his chin. Listen to his words. Jason was sick. Jason is the child of an alcoholic, a child of an addict. He would look at me and go, Daddy, did you just get up early, Daddy, go for breakfast? Yeah, Jason, I did. If he was here today, he would tell you how he cried on my pillow all night long, praying for me to come home, but he couldn't believe I left him alone. If he believed it, he'd have to call his mom. He knew his mother would never let me see him again, but that's exactly what he should have done. The second time I didn't come home at all, thank goodness his mother wouldn't let me see him again. Several months later, tripping on acid, I slam into the side of the bridge. 2 cops catch me. 2 cops stick me in a rehabilitation center. Someone has the audacity to tell me I'm a drug addict. Is that what I am? Oh, good. Now I know what I am. Hey, your friends, though, they're always there for you. Gary, the football player, called me. Danny, just get out of there, Danny. Danny, if you get out of there, we can get your job running a health club down in Syracuse, Danny. Just get out of there. Great, Gary. Moms and dads in this room, you hear this. You hear anything, Mom and Dad, you hear this. I come down the stairs, my first rehabilitation center. Who's out front? Mom and Dad. With a brand new lease sports car for their #1 son. Like I had graduated from college. You hear anything this morning? Hear this. First time doing drugs, 4 years. Smart audience I got here. Young, smart audience. You figured out. 4 years doing first time drugs. Second time, 2 years in Dallas. Third time, 1 year. Look at the time frames. 4th time, Syracuse, running a health club. 7 weeks, 5 o'clock in the morning, alarms go off, security shows up, cocaine on the counter, all the money in my pocket. Do they arrest me? Me? You don't dare arrest me. All they do is fire me on the spot. Why? You see, some schools, some communities, some families, some jobs, they don't want to hang out the dirty laundry. Hang out the dirty laundry, that means we got a problem here. It's easier to fire me. Where do I go? 27-year-old? Mom and Dad on the big house in the big street. But this time, on a Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, I called David. We're going to be in Chalk Talks today. You can sign up for this. You spend time with me. And someone remember to ask me about the inner circle. There was 10 of us. David was one of them. I've done drugs with thousands and thousands of people, from pro athletes all the way down to the homeless. But there was only 10 of us, tighter than tight. I want to tell you later where they are today. David was one. On this Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, I called David. The master degree, the coach, the teacher, the father, the athlete that I thought I was. Mom and Dad at the grocery store, when we backed the pickup truck to the back door, I emptied the house. Microwave, VCR, color TV, all the jewelry, steal and blind. Do they call the cops on me? They don't dare call the cops on me. But they did something more powerful. They knew I would come back to that house, and they were right. 3 days later, out of money, out of drugs, had sold everything they owned, and for my drugs. The audacity in me, I stepped on the back steps. I needed a place to sleep it off. I went to open up the back door wouldn't open. I remember pulling on the back door, I could see my mother sitting at the kitchen table. Let me in, Mom! I live here, the master padlock on the inside of the door. They finally locked me out. 3 days later, 2 teachers found me vomiting blood. St. Joseph Rehab, Saranac Lake, New York, 10 weeks. In the 4th week, they tell me they're bringing in my mom and dad and my son. You need to know what goes on in a rehab, because in the 4th week, they take the 40 alcoholics and drug addicts and put us in one big circle, but they put me in the middle of the circle. They put my son right in front of me. He's scared to death. He's got these pictures on his lap upside down. The counselor's sitting next to my son. The counselor says to Jason, show your dad those pictures. Jason picks up these pictures. He had drawn in crayon a body, a beer can to school, a crash car. Daddy, this is you. Daddy, you're going to die, Daddy. Falls out of the chair crying. They put my mom in that chair. My mom looks at me and goes, Danny, you're killing us. Leave us alone, Danny. And they put my dad. Follows in this room, you hear this. My dad looks at me and goes, Danny, what did I do wrong? He's still blaming himself. He doesn't get it. 10th week, they tell me I got to go to Poughkeepsie, New York. 6 months to a halfway house. No way, man. I got this thing down. I'm an alcoholic, I'm a drug addict. They begged me to go 6 more months. I would leave against their wishes. Hey, check it out, though. Moved to upstate New York, Northeastern Clinton School District. I landed a teaching job. I would become an assistant football coach at a nearby high school. Hey, everything's going great, though. I'm going to AA. I'm going to NA, Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous. 2-3 months goes by. I don't drink, I don't drug, but there's a knock at the back door. And when I open up the back door, this is the part of the story I worry about the most. Will you understand? When I opened up the back door, there stood my mom and my dad and my little boy holding that autographed football from the Cowboys. Hey, Dad! Come on, Daddy! Daddy, come on, Dad, let's go play catch. I'm so proud of you, Daddy. Catch. Is that what dads do? Does that make you a dad? Play catch with your boy? Does that make somebody a dad? I don't know how to be a dad. So I go in the backyard, we start to play catch. He looks at me and goes, Daddy, take me fishing. Is that what dads do? I looked at my father, I said, Dad, I don't know how to bait a hook. You gotta come with me, Dad. We go up Lake Champlain. Check it out, we're sitting in the boat. My little boy looks at me and goes, Daddy, I'm so proud of you, Daddy. I'm so proud you're drug-free. Daddy, I saw your trophies at Grandma's house. Daddy, you're also a good bowler, Daddy. Hey, Daddy, when school starts, I want to bring all my friends to the bowling alley, Dad. I want them to meet you. Daddy, I'm so proud of you. Football season started. I started coaching again. I quit going to AA and NA. You know why I quit going? Have you ever been to those meetings? You know why I quit going? Those people are weird. I am not one of them, man. I have a master's degree. I'm a teacher. I'm coach. Unfortunately, we win the first football game. I'm sitting in a bar. A coach slides a cold frosted beer across the top of the bar. I can see if it was yesterday, I can taste it was right now, and I pick the drink back up. Within the next 2 weeks, I'm on coke and speed. And the night before I hop on a bus to go home to see a little boy who thinks I'm drug-free, I purchased 5 grams of shrooms and put the shrooms in my top left denim jacket. I apologize to each and every one of you. I got an exceptional audience this morning. I apologize to each and every one of you. I've done every drug there is. I know every word associated with the drugs. You've only heard about this part of my life today. But I have no words to explain to you this morning how wasted I was on those mushrooms. When I stepped off that bus after a 2-hour ride, I am wasted. Jason comes running across the road. Come on, Daddy, Grandma's going to give us a ride. I'm eating the shrooms as we stumble up to the glass doors of the bowling alley. See all these little faces peered up against the door. Jason opens up the glass doors. You see my son getting bigger and proud. Daddy, this is Joey and Susie and Heather and Bobby. This is my dad. My dad almost played pro football. Almost. Dad, get us alley number 1, get us something to eat and drink. What a dad. I go to the bar, get Coca-Cola potato chips, give me Jack on the Rocks. Stumble down to alley number 1. Guess you had to be there, people. Jason says he would go first. He throws the ball. Everybody's clapping. Come on, Daddy. Daddy, it's your turn. As I stood up, I went to throw the ball. I jumped to hit the alley face first, got the top of my head wide open, and there's blood all over the alley. As my little boy comes running out, tries to pick up a 220-pound fullback teacher, coach. As I go over backwards, Daddy, why? Daddy, why? You said you quit, Daddy. Grab him by the arm. I go to the phone. Call my father. Come get him now, Dad. Stand at the bowling alley door. 2 generations, my father and my son. My father looks at me and goes, Danny, come home. Get out of here, Dad. My little boy pulling on my leg. Daddy, come home. Get out of here, Jason. I go to the bar, Mr. Athlete. Stay at the bar drinking my Jack, eating my shrooms. If I live to be 110. If I speak to another 2 million students, I don't ever want to forget this part of my program. I hear my name 5 times over those stupid speakers. Dan Davis telephone. I stumble to the phone, you pick up the phone, you hear that little voice. Daddy, Daddy, don't die, Daddy. Click 5 times. This kid wouldn't quit. Daddy, don't die. Daddy, come home, Daddy. I'll take care of you, Daddy. A 6-year-old is going to take care of me. On the 5th time, boom, I ripped the cord out. 3 days later, October 6, 1986, at 10 minutes after 4. A teacher said I called her. She finds me in a bar in a pool of blood. I've been alcohol drug-free since October 6, 86. I went back to AA, I went back to that halfway house, what I should have done a year earlier. 6 more months in a halfway house. You know what I found out about those people in AA and NA? They're not weird. Coach will like this. I sat in a meeting most recently with Brett Favre, the Green Bay Packers. It's a disease. Doctors, lawyers, superintendents, principals, construction workers, it's a disease. You don't ever want to end up in those meetings. It's simple. Don't pick it up. Hey, I get out of that halfway house. After 6 months, I moved to a town where I live and work today, Potsdam, New York. Not far from here. Start teaching, start coaching. Everything's going great. I fall in love over the next 2 years with this beautiful woman named Lisa. We were going to be married October 8, 1988. But 8 months before we're married, I got to have another knee operation. If you come to Chalk Talks today, I want to tell you about steroids. I'll give you a small bit right now. You got 2 artificial knees in front of you, 17 knee operations later. I'll tell you about steroids. But this time, 8 months before I'm married, after replacing the ACL, I come out of the hospital, I started to sweat. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I couldn't stop the sweats. My fiance would come to 10 Garden Street, apartment number 2. Change the sheets off the bed, the shirt off my back, soaking wet in sweat. I lost 25 pounds in a month. Couldn't stop the sweats. They put an opening here for me, antibiotics in the morning and at night. When Dr. Mazzata and Dr. Simon looked at me and told me those words I don't want anybody in this room ever to hear. Danny, we believe you have AIDS. No. I've done more needles, I've shared more straws, I've been with more people than there are in this room. And when they sucked out that second vial of blood, I knew I was HIV positive. I convinced myself. In the second week, I had enough. I wasn't going to let Jason see me die this way. I wasn't going to let my fiance see me die or my mom and dad from AIDS. In the second week, I climbed into that empty bathtub. I put the tape recorder on the side of the tub. And I took that loaded .44 and I brought that gun to my head. I still have the tape recording. The day is going to come, people. Before I end this journey, I want to bring the tape recorder in and put it up there and turn it on, sit out there with you people. It's the most pathetic 45 minutes you'd ever hear. Hear me weeping and crying, Mom and Dad, forgive me. Jason, don't ever drink, don't ever drug. I used to say something stupid 18 years ago. I used to say, I don't know why I didn't pull the trigger that night. I know why today. There's nothing that bad in the world that you got to go there. All you got to do is ask for help. The results, the first time, they were negative. You see this? My greatest fear is you're going to check me out. Look at his earring. Look at his ponytail. Look at him. He looks like he's made it. You think I made it? Come on. Come on now. Let's get together and talk. Let's talk about the 22 bleeding ulcers, the diverticulitis, the prostatitis, the bladder infection, and ileum that is so bloody raw scars. Oh, I'm sorry for being so graphic in your school. That causes me to get off the toilet twice every day, and the toilet's filled with blood. You think I made it? Oh, by the way, that woman, she still married me. Best man, Jason Michael. I go on my honeymoon. Come back from my honeymoon, the phone's ringing. You hear this little voice, Daddy? Daddy, can I move in with you? Daddy, what? His mom gets on the phone. She's crying. She had remarried 10 years earlier. She had another child. She says, Danny, you've been straight for 2 years. Do you want your little boy back? Yes, I want my little boy. 1 month after I'm married, Jason Michael moves back in with me. And how things happen in this world out of our control. My new wife, Lisa, was completing her master's degree as a speech pathologist. She leaves Potsdam on a Monday morning. She wouldn't come back to Friday night. The college was in Plattsburgh, 2 hours away. You now know what this past 40 minutes comes down to, right here. You miss this, you miss my program. That meant I would be all alone with Jason. And I had to be a dad. A dad? You want to know how much of a jerk I was? I didn't know how to be a dad. I went to school to teach. Jason went off to school. All day long I wanted to ask these guys, how am I going to be a dad? I really didn't know. On the way home, you know what I did? What a jerk. I bought a newspaper. That's what dads do. I walk in the house. Jason's on the couch. I sit in the recliner chair. This is it. I'm a real dad. I got the newspaper and I hear his little voice. Daddy! Daddy, you got to cook supper now. Uh-oh. I get up a box chicken in the front. I'm a dad. I go back in, newspaper, recliner chair. ABC, no, I'm a dad. But I hear that voice one more time. Hey, Daddy. Daddy, you got to get your jammies on. Jammies? Jason, I'm a football player. You go get your jammies on. I'm going to go get my sweatpants on. He runs in and gets his jammies on. I run in and get mine. All right, I got my jammies on. Some of us wear jammies, football players. I come up, I'm sitting in the, I'm a dad. I got jammies. I'm sitting there, but I hear that voice one more time. Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad, come sit with me. I go over on the couch. And he put that beautiful face with that beautiful blonde hair and brown eyes right there. Far from stupid. He looked up at me. Hey, Dad. Dad, what was I like in kindergarten? I don't know. Daddy, well, just tell me, what was it like in first grade? I don't know, Jason, stop it. Daddy, what was it like in second grade? I don't know, Jason. Daddy, where were you? I was getting drunk. I was getting high. He taught me how to be a daddy. Oh, Sunday when I left town, he walked out to the car with me. I looked at my son. I says, Jason, give me a hug. He looked at me. He goes, hey, Dad, chill out, man. The neighbors are watching. 6'3", 230 pounds. A graduate of the University of Buffalo, New York as an engineer. Went there in a partial athletic scholarship. You know what sport he played, don't you? Lacrosse. It's all right, I'm working through it. Jason Michael, if he was here right now, and we could talk about it later today, this is what he would say. He always closes the program. First place, believe it or not, Jason ever spoke with me, was in Moscow, Russia at the Kremlin. This is what he said then. We were doing a drug conference over there. This is what he would say if he was here now. He would look at all of you. These are Jason's words. You know what I am? I'm a cycle breaker. Someone says, you're what? Jason goes, a cycle. I'm a cycle breaker. Like all my grandpas were alcoholics. My father's a drug addict. Jason says, I'm going to break the cycle in this family and send this disease back to where it come from. 26 years old. Alcohol, drug free, calls himself a cycle breaker. Someone usually says, is there anything still bothers you about your dad? If Jason was here, he would say, yeah, there is. Dad remarried. I love my stepmom, that's not the problem. But she gave birth 14 years ago. That's not the problem. I love my sister. Dad now has a daughter. Her name is Serenity Joe Davis. The problem is this, Jason would tell you. The night Serenity was born, Dad was in the delivery room. The night I was born, Dad was drunk, passed out on the floor. What I'm about to tell you, to me, is one of the sickest parts of my program. He would say this next. He used to pray when he was a little boy for me to come home at 7 o'clock at night. And people would say, why did you want your dad home at 7? Jason, this is sick. Jason would say if he come home after work, he'd sit in the chair and do nothing. If he come home at 9 o'clock or later, Mom and I would have to help carry him in the house. He'd be so wasted. But if Dad come home at 7 o'clock at night, he would be just drunk enough that I would get down on my hands and knees and you could climb on my back and play horsey. What childhood memories. As I started the program, I will now end. My greatest fear since I started speaking 10 years ago is I'm going to leave a teacher or you looking at me and say, look at him, he's made it. I'll guarantee you one thing, people, from my heart to all of yours. Alcohol and other drugs, it'll get you. It'll get you now, or it'll get you later. And I wasn't prepared after being clean for close to 14 years on a routine blood test. This time, it came back positive. For full-blown hepatitis C, 100 times more contagious than AIDS. There is no cure. 51% of my liver is now dead in cirrhosis, and it will move to cancer, and I will traverse onto that liver transplant list. And for the first 3 years, I injected myself with a drug called interferon, ribavirin, and Pegasy to try to save my life. My blood is so contagious that compared to someone who has AIDS, if someone who has AIDS puts their blood there, their blood dies upon air contact. I put my blood there, my blood is contagious up to 3 months. The dried blood. So contagious that they had to test Jason, Lisa, and Serenity. No. And 3 years ago, we sat in Dr. Mazzato's office. My son went in first, and he turned around and looked at me. You could see the tears running down his face. Dad, you said this was over with years ago. His results? He's negative. Makes sense. Jason was born before I started doing drugs, and he got out of the house to college before I became active chronic. My beautiful wife went in next. 10 years younger than I am, has never done a drug in her life, didn't know me as a football player, didn't know me as a drug addict. Why she married me to this day, I try to wonder, figure it out. Her results? She's positive. I've infected her. And a little girl went in next. It took 4 of us to hold her down. The nurse, the doctor, my wife and I. You could hear her screams out the door, "No, Daddy! Daddy, I hate needles, Daddy, when they suck the blood out of her body because of what I did 18 years ago." Her results? She's positive. Do you get it? I watched in Miami, Florida 4 weeks ago, 1,200 kids cry their eyes out when Serenity walked out on stage and stood next to me. They got it. Did you? I've stolen her choice. You have a choice. Nobody holds you down and forces you to drink or drug. Nobody. It's your choice. I challenge you. Have your parents come out at 7 o'clock at night. I challenge you to hang out at Chalk Talk. Let's talk about this disease that's tearing at the very fiber of America. I challenge you, from Jason, from Lisa, from Serenity, I challenge you to be a cycle breaker, to be drug-free. And I thank you for having me to your school.